Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet.
This review is brought to you in part by Dean's Hobby Stop in Owasso, Michigan. Dean's has one of the Midwest's largest selections of used kits at great prices. They also feature new kits and supplies as well. Call Dean's to get their mail order list featuring hundreds of vintage kits, or check their website for great deals on both new and classic models. This review covers the Go Mad Nomad by Dave Deal. It's a no-scale kit from Revell, number 85-4310. And it's a skill level 2 kit, but it's really just an easy builder. Now, Dave Deal's cartoons graced the likes of cartoons magazines regularly back in the 70s, and he did some work on the original Disney Cars movie. Now, Dave lived large, and his nickname Big Deal was an appropriate match for his hobbies and talents. He designed dozens of model kits for Revell, and with just a little effort you can build this custom contraption and display it proudly on your shelf. It's an easy builder, and it features a far-out model with massive slicks and a radically sculpted driver figure, aka Rincon Ron. Now, Ron sets out from Baja's K39 in his 57 Chevy in search of the perfect wave in Kansas. Unfortunately, the amber waves of grain turned out just to be another urban legend. Now, Dave passed away in 2008, but his legacy lives on in our hearts and on our shelves. This outrageously detailed curbside kit, 57 pieces molded in white, clear, and chrome-plated parts with soft vinyl tires. When you're done, it's about 5.5 inches long, 4.25 inches wide, and 3.25 inches high. And that sounds like Newt. He's our program director, and it sounds like he has something to discuss here. Come on in, Newt. What is it?
Wow, that's one wacky looking kit. I've never seen tires that big either.
Right you are, Newt. That's just half of the fun. This wacky kit goes together nicely, but it's just a hoot. You'd have a great time building this one. As you can see from the copyright script, it was originally released in 1971, and then once again in 2014 in this boxing for us to enjoy once again. Now, as you can see, I'm starting with step 4, and that's because if you finish this model off, it's easier to do things a little bit out of order, but you can put it together right out of the box without paint, but it really enhances it if you can, finish off the model nicely. And so the first thing I did was paint the underbody flat black, and after that had dried, I scraped the chrome off the place where the springs are located and glued those into position. And I'd painted the shock absorbers red and added those. And next I simply took the chrome wheelie bars. Now you can see there's some ejector pin marks on it, so if you really want to finish it off, you'd have to smooth those over with some putty and then redo them. I simply painted the wheels black. So I thought it would be a nice touch to leave them chrome and put her back into place with some more realistic wheels. So next, of course, I painted the radiator flat black and let that dry. And you got to remember to remove paint and chrome plating if you want to glue pieces together. So then I assembled the headlight bezel portion in front of the radiator, and next we can assemble the headers. They're a 2-piece unit with half of the collector going on to the back side there, and that got painted white, flat white with a little bit of black wash to show the detail, and glued to the underside of the front fenders. Next we'll work on the interior plate. As you can see, it's pretty simple. Mostly it's the driver and his various pieces. You can finish them off any way you like. I painted, a flesh tone, and then I put a little red on his schnoz there. The glasses are made out of clear, so you can go ahead and decorate those with rims and tint the lenses if you like. And then scrape the paint off and glue them together. Now, I also added some color to the interior with an inserts of green on the seats, on the white seats, and also I added a little reflective panel and some kind of caricatured gauges for the dash. And set the interior plate aside to dry, and note we're going to station the windows up next, but before that, of course, we have to paint the body. Now, I painted mine a candy apple blue over silver base, and it came out very nicely. And of course, you have to scrape the chrome from that front piece and put that into position. And then, you can assemble the entire thing after the body is dry. I also did a white top for the 57 and added copious amounts of gold metal foil, including some gold colored foil for the insert there on the fins. But if you take your time, it really dresses up this model if you use some nice looking reflective foils. Let's work on the wheel assemblies, and the rear tires are a bit of a challenge because they're assembled in two pieces. Well, so are the fronts, but these are pretty large. Now, the instructions show no glues needed for the vinyl halves. You just scrape the surfaces off of the contact points of the inner and outer wheels and glue those together. But in order to keep any seam or gap from coming up, I use a little contact cement to put those in place. Now, after that, you just add the plastic axles through the holes in the chassis and the springs, and then go ahead and glue the wheels into place on those axles. They'll continue to rotate. With the wheels in place, you can locate the locating points where the body can be glued to the frame, the chassis there. And then we're going to work on the final parts of the construction with the blower. That goes together pretty nicely, and it just glues onto the top of the hood. And yes, you'll have to scrape some of that gorgeous paint off there to get it to stick, but it's pretty neat looking when it's in place. Also, the surfboard, I painted yellow on one side and flat white on the other. So you add the three pieces, and I painted the prop gold color, and then I also scratch built the frame to mount the surfboard on top so that there was more room in the back there for cold beverages for his trip, and that wraps up construction. So there you have it. This great looking iconic Dave Deal kit would grace any shelf, and you can still find them on eBay type of auction sites or in some old line hobby shops nearby. But it goes together pretty easily, and it sure is a head turner. I touched it off with a little clear red in the tail lights there, and then I can display that on my shelf, and if I were you, I'd buy one and put one on your shelf too. Well, we hope you like this premium step-by-step model kit review, and so that you don't miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can do that by clicking on the icon in the lower right of any of our reviews. And as always, you can find us on Facebook or our website, rightonreplicas.com. Thanks.